Hallo zusammen, I'm your vlog Dave. So, when you really reflect on the language you use every day, whether it's German, English or another language, there are also terms that you use pretty much on a daily basis and you take them for granted, you don't really think about them, you just use them pretty much. But they are really special at times, and from a linguistic point of view at least. So this time, well, I want to talk about a few German examples that are worth noting, that are worth talking about, I think, because even though all these terms that are going to be mentioned in this video are, well, normal and ordinary terms, most of them colloquial, there is still something special about them, or something funny even. All of them are compound words, which is pretty much the basis for many German terms, whether it's nouns, verbs, or adjectives, or other things. So let's talk about 5 examples today, 5 German terms that are normal, yet pretty interesting. The first term I want to talk about today is pretty self-explanatory, but that doesn't make it less interesting. The literal English translation of this colloquial term would be the cable salad. Der Kabelsalat, singular. Die Kabelsalate, plural. Many tangled cables, for instance, behind a TV. It contains the two nouns das Kabel, singular. Die Kabel, plural, the cable, and der Salat, singular. Die Salate, plural, the salad. The English equivalents are cable tangle or cable spaghetti, which is at least equally cool, I think. You usually use this compound word when you're upset about these tangled cables, because, you know, who isn't? An older, increasingly outdated German term that's related to Kabelsalat is der Bandsalat, singular, die Bandsalate, plural, the tape salad, which was mainly used in high times of VHS cassettes and the like, of course. Was ist denn das schon wieder für ein Kabelsalat? What kind of a cable spaghetti is that again? Honestly. Word number 2 in this list seems strange at first, but when you think about it, it totally makes sense. The waiting snake would be the literal English translation of die Warteschlange, singular, die Warteschlangen, plural, for the verb warten, to wait, or the nominalized form of it, das Warten, the waiting. And of course, die Schlange, singular, die Schlangen, plural, the snake. And a queue, which from my German perspective probably is among the strangest written words in English, don't you think? I don't know. Really looks like a worm or snake from above, so that totally fits. Often Germans also use the second part of this term basically as a short form. Die Schlange, singular, die Schlangen, plural, not only means snake, the animal, but in colloquial daily German it also means queue. Very often you come across this term in context of being at the supermarket and shops. Die Schlange an Kasse 2 ist wieder mal richtig lang. The snake in front of counter 2 is really long once again. Term number 3 is a very good example of a really simple yet clever German term which couldn't be more obvious or self-explanatory. The watch pointer or clock pointer, which is der Uhrzeiger, singular, die Uhrzeiger, plural. The German noun die Uhr, singular, die Uhren, plural, is a general term for all kinds of clocks. The usual clock hanging on the wall is die Uhr, or more precisely, die Wanduhr, the wall clock, singular, die Wanduhren, plural, whereas a watch would be die Uhr, as a general term again, or more precisely, die Armbanduhr, singular, die Armbanduhren, plural, the wristband clock. The second part is der Zeiger, singular, die Zeiger, plural, the hand or index or cursor, the pointer showing the actual hour, minute or second. I mean, really technically speaking and, well, semantically in a way, it should be der Uhrzeitzeiger, because it doesn't show the clock or the watch, it shows the time of day. Literally the clock time or watch time, with the actual English equivalent to Uhrzeiger being clock or watch hand. Die Batterie meiner Uhr ist leer gegangen, die Uhrzeiger sind stehen geblieben. My watch's battery is empty, the watch hands don't work anymore. The fourth term is a combination of terms you might not expect at first either. In fact, both parts exist separately but join forces in this specific meaning and context. As another colloquial term, the toilet glasses can't be even translated properly to English, which has to do with the latter part. In German, die Brille, singular, die Brillen, plural, exist as both singular, one unit, and plural, multiple units, while in English the term glasses is plural only, yet it also refers to just one unit. But the actual term I want to talk about here is die Klobrille, singular, die Klobrillen, plural, the toilet glasses. You know, for the first part of this, the first noun in here, being a slang and colloquial variant of die Toilette, singular, die Toiletten, plural, the toilet. The actual English equivalent to Klobrille is toilet seat, by the way. Das ist ein typischer Männerhaushalt. Die Klobrille ist hochgeklappt. This is a typical man's household. The toilet seat is raised. Last but certainly not least, because there are many other German compound words that are really cool, well, this common compound word is a really normal yet linguistically interesting one, since it's a mixture of two different parts of speech, an adjective and a verb, which were combined to a noun. I bet every single one of you guys has one at home. I'm talking about the Farseer or the distant seer, which actually just is der Fernseher, singular, die Fernseher, plural, the German equivalent to the TV, the television, even though it only partially shares linguistic aspects with the English term. Another similar and related noun is das Fernsehen, the TV watching, meaning the process of doing that in a nominalized form. And the verb is Fernsehen, to watch TV. Even though the German term Fernseher might imply it's referring to the person watching TV, in fact it refers to the actual television machine, the TV itself. The first part of der Fernseher is the adjective fern, far or distant, and the second part is the verb sehen, respectively the noun der Seher, der Fernseher. Simple but very effective and cool, and that's another reason why I personally love the German language. I mean, of course I'm a bit biased because it's my mother tongue, but hey, it's a cool language anyway. Mein Fernseher ist mittlerweile schon ein paar Jahre alt. My TV is quite a few years old by now. Of course, I want to know which of these terms have you come across before and which other German terms do you find interesting. For instance, other compound words. Tell me in the comments, and also make sure to check out my video description with all my social media links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and whatnot, and also, of course, support options for the channel and what I'm doing here on YouTube. So if you want to say thank you, Dave, thanks for all the videos, whether they are Rammstein related or more language oriented like this, like purely language oriented videos, feel free to do so via PayPal, for instance, or via Patreon. All of that is really welcomed and greatly appreciated. Of course, all voluntarily. Big thanks for doing that in advance or for considering that. So yeah, thanks for watching everyone. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.